Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, like the content, hit that thumbs up. Today we're back in the garage. The season as far as bracket racing is over, and now we get to do some fun upgrades during the off season here, and hopefully get back to the track and do some more racing before the end of the year. Worst case, we're going to do some testing. But let's get into it, and I'll tell you what we're doing today. Alright, so like I said, we're out in the garage doing some upgrades. But first things first, I want to give a shout out to a guy I work with named Dave. He told him about my channel, and he had some extra fancy stuff laying around that he said he didn't use anymore, and he gifted those to me. So we got all this fancy stuff here. So I got a gyro and a guess a selfie stick, whatever, tripod thing that's going to help me out here in the garage. So I just wanted to give him a quick shout out and tell him thanks for that, and give him some credit. So what we're going to do today in the garage is we have to track wires, like every wire in this car, well, because we got a nice fancy dandy new wiring kit that we're going to put in the car and update the wiring and update the switches, and I guess take this car into the 21st century. So we'll get back to you here in a second, and we'll explain what we're doing with all that. All right, so I apologize for it being as dark as it is, but so we're going to get rid of all these switches that were from the original car and the original build, and we're going to get rid of this wiring nightmare mess that I've made as neat as I can, and update it to these nice switches and this nice circuit board and all these other fancy wires. So now this is going to take me quite a while. I am not going to film all this for obvious reasons, but it is Saturday afternoon, and I gotta cut all these zip ties and start tracing all these wires to find out exactly where they go and how they're hooked into that board over there. That's gonna get changed out, and then once I get everything ID'd and labeled to where they go, then I can take that part out and install the new board and start running wires where they need to go, and hopefully all this fires back up and everything works again when I'm done, because if not, that's gonna create quite a headache for me. I don't like doing wiring very well, but we're gonna dive in and we're gonna tackle it, and I will be back once I get everything labeled, and we'll see what time it is and where we go from there, and hopefully we can get this done as quick as we can and as right as we can, so all this fires back up and then we can move on to the next project we go. So I'll be back in a little bit. So I just wanted to show you, after I cut all the zip ties, the wiring mess I'm talking about. So all of this I have to go through, figure out where it goes, and then figure out how to hook it up to the new board. So we're going to get into tracking wires, and we'll be back. All right, so instead of dealing with all this mess down here, I came up with a new plan. So I mounted the new switches up there, and I mounted the new board down there, and I'm just going to basically take this one switch at a time and basically track where it goes to and then hook it up to that board, and I think that'll save a lot of time. So that's my game plan. Not sure if it'll work instead of tracing all these wires down, but that's what we're going to go with, and hopefully that works. So off to the wiring nightmare mess. Alright, so I found my first aha, holy crap moment. So I pulled the power switch and the starter button, and this green wire runs over to my shifter wire, and I don't know if you can tell in there or not, but there's only 2 little strands going to the shifter for power. So I'm glad I tore into this, because if this wire would have broke, I'd have lost my shifter. So here's my first glad I'm doing this moment. So on to doing more wiring. Alright, so this switch was my shifter switch to make it work or not. And I tracked this wire up to this butt connector. Well, this butt connector also goes into here, and this wire goes to my line lock. So why they all go into one wire, I have no idea. But we're going to have to figure this out, and head scratching continues. Okay, so I've been out here all day, but I have no more necessary switches on the dashboard. These 2 down here, they're going to disappear here soon. They're the nitrous stuff. This is the delay box on-off switch, so that's probably going to disappear as well. I know it still looks like a disaster under here, but everything is wired to the box. I have not smoke checked anything yet, or checked to make sure everything is working. I'm going to do that before I make it all pretty. So that's the next step, is to turn it on and hopefully nothing smokes. So I'm going to do that now, and we'll get back to let you know what's going on. And just so everybody's aware, this is everything that came out of the car as of right now. There'll be more to come out when I get all the nitrous stuff out, but this is all that's out now. Alright, well, I turned the power on and everything works except the starter. So the starter is my issue right now. So I have to figure out what's going on with it and what I disconnected that was important to make that work. As far as I know, I did a 1 wire for 1 wire, but something's not happy. So we're gonna check into that before we start cleaning this up. So if I can get it fixed today, I will get back with you. If not, I will be back tomorrow. Okay, today is Sunday, and I've been after this thing again, trying to figure out why it won't start. And I have no idea why. So if I turn the power on, turn the ignition on, and hit the starter switch up here on the panel, I do not get power to the port on the solenoid on that panel for some reason. Now, just to check it, I took the wire off the starter solenoid terminal and just touched it to the positive on the panel, just so I could know if I had power to turn the solenoid over, and it turned it over just fine. So for some reason, I don't know why, I'm not getting power to that terminal block on the board. So I'm going to have to call tomorrow and see if I'm doing something stupid, or if it's a problem with the switches, or if it's a problem with the board. So once I get all that figured out and I can actually get this thing to start, then I'll start tidying up all this mess under here. So at this point, I'm done. I can't do anything else because I don't know what the problem is. There's no online tutorial on troubleshooting, so I physically have to call them. So that's where we're at. So after the phone call tomorrow, I will see what I can do and see what they say, and hopefully we can figure this out. But for now, we're dead in the water. So till next time. Okay, I've got this thing figured out. So I want to thank a fellow racer, Nick. He has this same kit that I just put in this car, and I got a hold of him, and he told me what I needed to do, and it was a simple fix. So if you see this jumper wire right here, goes from the, basically it fools the board to think the car is in neutral all the time. It basically just jumpers the neutral safety switch, and as soon as I did that, car started right up. So everything works as it should. So now I get to clean all this stuff up, and then this project will be finally done for sure. So the car runs good. The shifter stays where it's supposed to. I did have to change the port on that to get it to do that. Trans brake works, the brakes work, all the gauges work. So I just have to get it to the track now to make sure that the shifting works like it should, and we're good to go. So let me get all this cleaned up and we'll be back. All right, so here we go. So everything works the way it should. Everything's tested except my shifting, but everything works. And now we have everything all nice cleaned up underneath the dash and up the pole to the switches. So sign this one off, and we are good to go on this and on to the next project. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We will see you next time.